I'm going to title this video, They're Twisted. What they've been saying all along is that they've been broadcasting this. They said they went live, and that means that they had a way of putting this out live as it's happening. So it's not only happening in my apartment, but they would follow me around and it would be live. They would have a way of making it live, which would be a problem. I told you in yesterday's video that Targeted Individual and other YouTubers helped me realize that these are EMF broadcasts. So it's being broadcast, which means it's out loud. So what they was trying to say is that in their circle, gang, they were broadcasting it. Again, that's a crime. Now, why I'm going to title this video Twisted is because they said that they felt they could take things that happened and twist it to make it seem worse. So they said they started this in like 2019, but I think they started it much earlier. And so they were trying to twist things so that I would argue or, come up with some sort of answer, and then they could use it for their circumstances. So they said they have different legal circumstances and they would want to use my way of, I guess, explaining for them, which is another crime. So we have a whole list of crimes. I had a previous video where I said list of lies. We just have a whole list of crimes. So one of the crimes they wanted me to commit was, wouldn't you try to save such and such? That's another crime. So this is the setup of all setups, okay? So for all of us going through this is the setup. I mean, you can't even set up a setup the way they set this up. And if I had not reported this and not kept pursuing it, they would have set me up even more. That's my point. So to think of these types of people as being able to take something and twist it and distort it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. It's like, how do you live with these types of people? So, I can't. They said they thought I would eventually get used to this and be able to live with it. No, they said my body isn't responding to they call it stimulating my brain. They said they were doing it to make me think. No, they were doing it to kill me and cause me to lose my memory, my train of thought. Anyway, that's another twist. So how do you live with these types of people? I can't. I don't know how they live with themselves or each other. They said they don't get along. I understand. But what I'm saying about this is because I'm not responding, they said they were going to try to use this as research. It shows that they weren't doing it the right way, I guess, or that they failed at their research. And that's my point. It seems like all the things they're trying to do to set me up, set themselves up. It's not research, which is a crime, when you take somebody and make them too sick to be able to work. It's not research when you hit somebody with something and then try to make it seem like you are helping that person. It's not research when you try to stimulate someone's head. So that's why they said at night they were doing this to me to stimulate my brain. So even while I'm sleeping, I'm working. A crime, but that's a sick, twisted crime. That's like the crime of all crimes. And so they keep trying to find a way to manipulate me into thinking that, well, it's not that much of a crime. It's like a little bitty crime. It's not a huge crime. It's a massive crime. Everything they do and say and think even is a crime. It's a crime. So they're upset because I am going to title this Twisted, because they said that's a reference to something else. No, Twisted is a sick individual. And in this case, this is a sick, organized group of individuals. They're sick. To make their victims think that we're going mentally ill. They keep trying to say, well, wouldn't you want to talk to a psychiatrist? No, I want to talk to law enforcement. Okay? Law enforcement. Psychiatrists, nothing. Law enforcement. If you're going through this, they said, well, we're going to expose that you're not so nice. I'm not so nice. Do you know what I would have done if I wasn't so nice? And that's my point. That's my point. I'm not going to stay silent. I'm not going to let them manipulate me into silence, into thinking that I have to be forgiving. They said I have to use grace. Grace what? Grace what? When you're killing people, either by stimulating their heads, hitting them with things, causing all sorts of illnesses, making them think they're insane, trying to drive them to suicide. That's another thing. I took some Benadryl and I took a lot of it, and I knew my limit. Benadryl tends to make me tired, but it also doesn't make me die. Okay. I wasn't going to die. I took a lot of it. This was years ago, like maybe in like 2019. So because I needed sleep and not to have my brain stimulated, not to have them banging and making all this noise. So they said, oh, you tried to commit suicide. I did not. I did not. And I didn't take a massive amount of Benadryl. I'm telling you everything because I want this out there the way I want it out there. I was not suicidal, but they said, oh, you're going to, and then they kept saying, you should commit suicide. You should hurt someone. So they kept trying to drill this in. No, that's a lie. I'm not going to let them lie on people. And do you know what happened when I had that Benadryl? I went to sleep and I woke up feeling better. And that's my point. I'm saying this to explain to you folks, don't take Benadryl like that, please. But they didn't want me to get this out of my system because however this shit works, it works in such a way that when you either don't sleep, you feel better, or when you get good sleep, you feel better. I don't know why, but I think it has something to do with if your body is too tired, you feel better, or if your body gets enough rest, you feel better. They wanted to make it seem like I was suicidal. I am not suicidal. As you guys already know, there will be no reason for me to commit suicide. But that's my point. They are trying to make people think they're crazy. They're trying to make us think we did something wrong. That's an example of them trying to make me think, you tried to commit suicide, we saved you. You did not try to save me. You tried to drive me to suicide. You did not try to save me. That's part of why when they're trying to figure out how did I escape the worst of this, I'm not sure if I did. It was because I knew how, okay, take this, take that, and I would feel a little bit better. And that's my point. But they twisted that into saying it's a suicide attempt. It was not a suicide attempt. It was not a suicide attempt. Okay? And that's my point. It's always going to be them twisting things and trying to make things something that they're not. And that's what I'm trying to say. They're always trying to manipulate. They're so manipulative. They're so twisted that they thought I would live with this. I will not only not live with it, but I'm going to keep talking about it every chance I get to expose these people. This will never end for them. They said it will never end for me. Well, this will never end for them. Thank you for watching.